AEW Dynamite review, let's get into it. So the show opens up with Mercedes Moné having an almost celebration for her winning the TBS Championship. But the one thing I must point out is whenever I watch or listen to a Mercedes Moné promo, I question whether she is a face or a heel. It really confuses me because she'll say things like, I'm the greatest of all time, I am the CEO, money changes everything, which are quite heelish words to say. And then she'll go to saying to Willow, I want you to kick the asses of Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway, which is a face thing to say, obviously because we know they turned on Willow after the match. But that's not the point. The point is she a face or is she a heel? And I get the idea of being a tweener, but a tweener is normally a tweener because they are liked by, they might be heelish, but they are very much liked. Or they might be a face, but they're quite... No, that doesn't even work. You can't be a face and hated and then be a tweener. You're a heel then. I think a tweener is more you're a heel, but you're quite liked. And I'm not sure that's the case with Mercedes because she does get booed. She does get booed. But decent promo. Wasn't awful like some other promos. It was standard. It was alright. And then on to the Titantron, we see Sky Blue. And Sky Blue says she's got something for Mercedes Moné or something to tell her, which then leads to Sky Blue showing the footage of Mercedes Moné getting tagged in that interview weeks and weeks ago now, where Mercedes originally blamed either Julia Hart or Willow. But we find out it was Sky Blue. Now Willow is asking Sky Blue to come out, but before she can even say that, Sky Blue is behind her and attacks Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné leaves Mercedes Moné on the floor, knee on her neck, hand on the title, holding the title up high. Sky Blue stands tall. Now we hear later on in the night that Tony Khan makes this match official for later in the night. So we do see Sky Blue taking on Mercedes Moné very, very quickly. I feel like this could have been a first feud that you could have let go on for a couple of weeks, but I guess we're getting it tonight. Mercedes Moné in action. Good to see. We then have Swerve Strickland taking on Killswitch. I hope this is the end of the feud now, but I think it is. I think this is the end of the feud now because I didn't want it to carry on for the simple fact that we need Swerve to keep moving. We need that momentum for Swerve. But anyway, Swerve lands a Swerve Stomp in the match. Decent match, but that doesn't get the win. Killswitch quicks out at 2.99, and Swerve lands another house call for the win. And then he pins Killswitch. After the match, he snips the ponytail of Killswitch, or one of his braids, and that's like a callback to when Killswitch pulled out a lock of hair from Swerve Strickland. All in all, the match was pretty decent, was alright, pretty average. Killswitch looked like a monster, Swerve looked like a champion. Easy enough win at the end of the day for Swerve, which I like. So I'm pretty happy with that. We then get maybe the worst segment I've seen in a very long time on AEW, and that is like a TV talk show thing, so very WWE style, from Chris Jericho, and it is called The Learning Tree, or TV, let me get this right, TV Time with the Learning Tree. Yeah, so we get Big Bill basically introducing the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho comes out, they have this funny TV, they have a TV there, they have this weird funny looking tree there. I don't know what that's all about. Really like half cheap, half expensive budget, which weird vibe. But anyway, yeah, Chris Jericho just went on and on and on. It's just so annoying with his fakeness, and it's not even a heel annoying. This is bad heat, guys. Bad heat. Brian Keith then gets brought out because he obviously is now a part of the Learning Tree after he helps Chris Jericho at Double or Nothing. But again, Brian Keith is just screaming at the fans for not appreciating Chris Jericho, and I'm like, this is just not it. Let this end, please. It eventually does end when Hook comes out, but he gets rid of the security guards. But before he gets to the ring, we hear Samoa Joe's music, and he comes out of nowhere. He didn't even come out from the entranceway. He just came out of nowhere. He whispers in Hook's ear, and they walk off, which I'm interested to see Hook and Samoa Joe. That could be an interesting combo. That's a much better combo than Hook and Chris Jericho, if I'm being honest. We then get Jon Moxley taking on Rocky Romero in an IWGP Eliminator match. There's a lot of these happening, but decent match, average match, typical Jon Moxley match, typical Rocky Romero match. Jon Moxley was selling the hell out of his shoulder. Jon Moxley did some selling, ladies and gentlemen. Jon Moxley learned how to sell for a match. Might be the last time we ever see him sell anything ever again, but he sold for this match, which is all I can ask for. Anyway, he sold the hell out of his shoulder. Rocky Romero was landing in arm breakers or arm bars. He was landing in Jujikatamis. I don't know what those are, but they always mention on commentary. He was landing in a lot of submissions and really working the arm of John Moxley. But that was not enough, as Moxley landed a Death Rider and got a relatively easy win over Rocky Romero. We then had Don Callis come out, getting the Dominic Mysterio treatment, getting booed to and out of the building. And he says he's got a contract for someone to join the Don Callis family, and he calls out Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy comes out, doesn't even say a word. He has a mic, puts it in his jacket, doesn't say a word. Don Callis hands him the contract, says filled it in already, and Orange Cassidy tears the contract, takes out the mic, and says his one word, which is no. But then out comes Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander, and I'm thinking, why these two? Anyway, it comes to the conclusion that Chris Statlander says towards the ringside area that he'll gladly accept your contract, Don Callis, which we're thinking, now why are you speaking for Orange Cassidy? But no, Trent Beretta is behind them and takes out Orange Cassidy, leaves him laying in a pool of blood, and is now the newest member of the Don Callis family. So Don Callis just takes more losers in. That's what it is. He lost. Don Callis takes more losers. His faction is full of losers because they never win, except for Will Ospreay. No one in that faction ever wins. We then got Mercedes Moné taking on Sky Blue in a pretty good match. Both women can work. Mercedes Moné, obviously the superior worker, but both women can work. Really, really good match. Mercedes Moné lands the moneymaker for the win, and that's the end of the match. But out comes Stephanie Vaquer. I hope I pronounced that right. She is the current New Japan Strong Women's Champion. I think she's also a CMLL champion. But she is challenging Mercedes Moné, or we think this is what it is. She stood there, hold her title. Mercedes held her title. So we assume this is going to lead to a match at Forbidden Door. Should be a very good match. I feel like they faced already, and I feel like Mercedes won. I feel like it was in the lead up to Mercedes Moné versus Willow for the New Japan Strong title, or about a year ago now. I feel like that was the semifinals match, unless Willow faced Vaquer. One of them definitely faced her. So we've seen this match already, but obviously not on a scale like Forbidden Door. After this, we had the Elite come out, fully kitted out. We got the Scapegoat, Jack Perry, and we got Okada, and we got the Young Bucks. Yeah, this was okay. Jack Perry cut a decent enough promo in between all of this. The Young Bucks did the Young Bucks thing. Okada just is Okada. The Young Bucks gave him a Lamborghini, and Okada just kept saying, oh my god, oh my god. And then he said, this is a dream. Then he started fake crying. I don't know what relevance that had to any of this. I really don't. Anyway, they then start talking about Adam Copeland. Now they get onto the EVP duty and start talking about Adam Copeland and the fact that he is injured. So that means he can't defend his title. So they will strip him of his title, and then they were about to give it to Jack Perry. They announced the new champion, Jack Perry, and out comes Christopher Daniels. And Christopher Daniels said that Tony Khan has made him the new executive vice president. I'm assuming this is while Kenny Omega's out of action. And the first order of business is that we will be having qualifying matches leading to a ladder match at Forbidden Door for the TNT Championship. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously, the Elite not happy about this. But we move on to the main event, which is a gauntlet match. And to start off the gauntlet match, it's one of these exciting gauntlet matches that I quite like from AEW. So this is one thing I like, where they have two men start out. You don't have to pin for the next one to come out. After a certain time, someone else joins the match, and we don't know who this someone else is. So it's like Royal Rumble vibes. So, for example, White and Pac started this match. They were wrestling, they were going at it, and out comes Mystico from CMLL. Try that again. Say that 10 times over and over. And then they wrestled out. No pinfalls at all yet. And then out comes Will Ospreay with a huge pop. Then we get Shota Umino. Big surprise for Shota Umino to be there. I absolutely love Shota Umino. I think he should have beat John Moxley a couple weeks ago, but anyway. Claudio Castagnoli came out. Leo Rush back in AEW after all he had to say about AEW. That's interesting. Orange Cassidy then came out with his obviously bleeding head. He had bandaged up everything. And then let me say this right. Hechicero came out. I think I said that right, actually. Shout out to Excalibur for his pronunciations, even though he's a terrible commentator. He came out, and then to end off the match after some great wrestling, we had Ospreay pinning Orange Cassidy after landing the Ospreay cutter. Obviously, Orange Cassidy, he's beaten down already, so this was kind of like a way to get out of this match. Now that means we are getting Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland at Forbidden Door. Wow. Wow. I thought this was an all-in match. I thought this match was made for all in. And the fact that Orange Cassidy is already a double champion, I'm not sure they should have made this match now. Well, not double champion, sorry, he is already a champion. I'm not so sure they should have made this match now. Was it needed? Did we need to book Orange Cassidy? I mean, why do I keep saying Orange Cassidy? Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland. Did we need that? Probably not. That's an all-in main event for me. Perhaps they're going to cheat him out of it and Swerve is going to go full-on heel. That then leads to the all-in match. That's the way I think I see it, because I don't see a big change happening now in titles. And what do you do for all-in? Have Will come in as champion? I think it's kind of underwhelming. So, after the match, Swerve comes out, little face-to-face, and the show goes off the air. Decent enough show. I enjoyed it. Some good matches, some good wrestling. Promos were trash. Learning Tree Chris Jericho might have been the worst thing I've ever seen on AEW television. Worst thing. That was absolutely horrendous. Other than that, it felt like a nothing show, but at the same time, things happened, if that makes sense. This is obviously often the case with like SmackDown and stuff like that. Sometimes things happen, but they still feel like a nothing show. But I'm happy with it. Nothing too bad. Or I say that, the Chris Jericho. Besides Chris Jericho, nothing too bad. So we'll completely forget about Chris Jericho and that he is even a part of AEW. That's for the better. That's for my mental health. With that being said, guys, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.